Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I'm your reader, Jay. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to make an all-inclusive intro for this series of love readings, which I'm going to do, just so I can give you an overall understanding of how the love readings will go and what my process was when I was thinking about designing these readings. So you'll see that I'm going to do each of the zodiac signs, but I'm going to organize them by their element. And I'm going to start with the first sign of the zodiac wheel, which is Aries. And we're going to end with Pisces. But of course, we're all going to lump that, or excuse me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lump it all together, again, by elements, starting with fire signs, then we'll move to earth signs, then we'll move to air signs, and then we'll finish up with water signs. Since there are 3 signs within each element, there will be 3 separate decks used, with an overall oracle deck use as the anchoring energy, okay? So what you'll see is you'll see a main energy card that I'm going to use out of the Zodiac Oracle deck by Paolo, how do you say his name? Paolo Barbieri. So that'll be your central energy card. And then as I get into the meditation process, I'm going to select one deck for each sign. So you might end up with the Happy Tarot deck, which is by Serena Fica. You might end up with the Santa Muerte deck, which is by Fabio Lestrani, or you might end up with the Housewives Tarot deck, which is kind of a fun, quirky deck. You don't see a lot of readers using it, I don't think. And that is by Paul Keppel and Jake Buffum. And so, yeah, that's how it's going to go. You're going to get one central card, which is going to be your own zodiac, and then you're going to get one of the 3 decks, and there will be 6 cards in the spread, okay? On the left-hand side will be the energy of the zodiac sign in which we're addressing, who we're talking to, and then on the right side is going to be the energy of the partner that you might be thinking about, who you might be actually involved with, who you might be dating, who you might be interested in, and if you're absolutely single, it might be someone that you don't even know is interested in you, or that you haven't even met yet, okay? So that's how these love readings are gonna go. I'm gonna try it out. If it's not a great method, I'll switch it up the next time around. But for this first time of doing it, that's what I've decided to go with, okay? So let's get into your readings, starting with the fire signs. Hello, hi, and welcome, air signs. This is going to be your love reading for the first half of April. I thank you so much for joining me today. As I explained in the top of the video at the intro, there are 3 separate decks that I'm going to be using for the love reads. And so Gemini, you have the Housewives Tarot. Libra, you have the Happy Tarot deck. And Aquarius, you have the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. And since Gemini, you're the first air sign on the zodiac wheel, you will go first. So let me go ahead and ask your friends to give us some privacy. And we'll see them later on. I have readings for them in a little while. And then Housewives Tarot for you, Gemini. How are you? Hope you're doing well, Gemini. Let's put you in the center here. Yeah, that looks good. And I believe I explained in the intro that I have meditated on each individual energy with the decks. So I'm just going to do a quick reintroduction to that energy. I'll lay your spread, and then I'll go ahead and I'll get into your reading, okay? Gemini, the first card out in your 6-card spread is going to be how you're coming into this reading and how you're meeting, excuse me, not how you're meeting, but how you're coming into this love relationship that you've come to this reading about. Now, again, this can apply if you're single. This can apply if you're dating. It can apply if you're married. And that might sound a little strange, because how can a married person and a single person get some messages in the same reading? Even if you're single and not actively dating, it can still be your attitude towards love that you see on the left-hand side of the board here. And if you are dating, but you don't have anyone that you are actively dating, the side that would represent your partner could just represent a potential partner, someone who might have their eye on you. So with the first card, it's going to be how you view yourself coming into this relationship, coming into this reading. It's going to be your particular status right now, how you feel about yourself, what you think that you're bringing to the table. 2. Okay. I don't remember who it was, but there was one other sign I think that got 2. One of the fire signs, I think. Am I remembering that right? I could be wrong about that. I might have had to choose, I think multiple cards fell, and maybe I didn't take them. But there you are, Gemini. I took it. The second card is going to be how you feel about the person that you're connecting with, the person that you're in a relationship with, the person that you're dating, how you're viewing them right now. And then it's also going to be how you're viewing the two of you as a unit. What do you think the both of you are right now? 2 again. Yes, okay. Well, we might be here for a while, Gemini. Jeez. Now, the third card is going to be your hopeful outcome, what you might be wishing for as the next step in your relationship with this person, what you think might be a goal for the two of you, or it just might come as advice for next best steps for you from your point of view in this relationship, okay? Okay, so that one fell. Give me a second. Okay. And the energies, Gemini, on the other side for your partner are going to act as a mirror. So their first cards are going to be how they feel about themselves as they're coming into this relationship, as they're coming into this reading. How are they viewing themselves? What's their current status? Okay. And then their second card is going to be how they're viewing you, how they're viewing the connection with you, how they're viewing themselves, not themselves, I'm sorry, you and them together as a unit, or just you, or both. Third card is going to be their desired outcome, what they're hoping for, what they're wishing for in the connection, or it will come as advice for next best steps from their point of view. And since this is a love reading, there's no bottom of the deck energy as an overall energy. You are the overall energy because this is your reading, Gemini. So what I'll do is I'll flip your cards, and then we're going to get into it. Okay. Excuse me. All right, Gemini, coming into this love reading and into this relationship or potential relationship, or just how you are presenting yourself in the realm of dating and love and relationships, is you have the 5 of Swords upright and you have the Temperance card reversed. I'll show you the Temperance upright because I'm not sure if many people are familiar with this deck, just so you can know what it looks like. But of course, the energy came reversed, so that's what you have. And let's see what we're talking about here. Excuse me, not 5 of Swords, 4 of Swords. Wow, 4 of Swords. I can read, I swear to God. 4 of Swords. Okay, because I was like, this is not. Yeah. Anyway, 4 of Swords. So, you're coming in. Interestingly enough, I think on one hand, you're resting. But on the other hand, you're not healing, right? You're not finding the correct balance, even though you're resting, which is something I think could be very common for some Geminis. Not all, but some Geminis, because, if you know anything about your own sign, you know that you are the twins, right? You are a sign, one of the signs that has a duality to them. And so oftentimes two things can be true about you at once. And sometimes those multiple things, or those two things that are true, can sometimes be opposite, right? So you can be resting, you can be reflective right now with the Four of Swords energy, but you can kind of lack the healing and the actual balance and peace of mind that Temperance is kind of asking you, or you just might be seeking it. I don't even think that the card, so to speak, is influencing you. I think the card has shown up here because this is what you want. You would love to have Temperance upright. And what are some of the things on the card that Temperance is talking about? Joy, justice. It says instant anger and sorrow, but the point of it is that you want to have equilibrium among all of your emotions, or all of your thoughts, or all of the things that are stressful to you, or that are even like external to you, like your obligations and your responsibilities. So on one hand, you're resting and you're kind of, treating yourself well. Because look at this woman, looks like she's been to a spa, even though she's sitting in front of a set of cutlery or a knife block. Like, I don't know any spa that has that involved, but whatever. Or maybe she's doing it at home then. Yeah, there's cucumber there and makeup and all that. So she's having a spa day at home, okay? And so there is a part of you that is finding respite, finding some kind of restfulness, and you're re-energizing yourself in some ways. And of course, swords is your element, and swords would deal with mental capacities, how you think, how you communicate, how you rationalize. And so maybe you're just trying to quiet your thoughts because you need balance in all other areas of your life. You need to balance your emotions, you have to balance your schedule, you have to find a way through all of the demands and obligations that are facing you right now. But it's not working out. So for sort of a quick fix, you're taking a personal day off of work and you're just like vegging out in front of Netflix, or you actually go to a spa, or you go get your nails done or your hair done, you go get a massage, you go play a sport, you go hang out with friends you haven't seen in a while. Whatever you're doing, the Four of Swords is, again, it's a restful energy, but because I think it's in tandem with the Temperance in reverse, is showing that you're kind of unable to get the right balance and healing and perspective that you truly want, so that you can kind of get on with your day. Now, that all sounds to me very personal. It sounds like it's something slightly removed from a romantic relationship or things that have to do with romance. I mean, work and obligations and how you're thinking and how you're feeling. Of course, that plays into, if you're married, it plays into your marriage. If you're dating, it'll play into when and how you can have dates with your partner. So it does apply, but the energy I'm getting off of it and combination with each other, this is very personal. And when I was speaking, the idea of dating or the idea of having a relationship with someone else wasn't really coming up. So I think that you're kind of coming into this relationship in an interesting way, not really thinking about the relationship or really it just might not be a focus for you right now. It might not be in the forefront of your mind. It might be one of the things that you're trying to find balance and healing and tempered energy with. It's something that you're trying to fold into the batter that this card depicts, right? But I'm not sure that you're able to do it just yet. I'm not sure that you're able to give it your all, pay it all of the attention that you'd want to. So I feel you're not unbalanced, but I think you're just, you might be sort of like at a pit stop. You might be sort of like taking a time out. You know, like I said, with the Four of Wands, you might actually like take a personal day, like a mental health day from your work, a mental health day from your husband or your wife, a mental health day from your children. You, again, because this has come reversed, and I think you really want that to be upright and working in your favor, but it's not right now. So your reaction to it is to, you know, try to revitalize yourself, try to get your energy back, try to get your mojo back. And I think that might involve a little bit of alone time. It will involve a little bit of reflection, or it involves straight up distraction. Like I said, just getting up and like going to visit friends that you haven't seen in a while, going out to brunch with them, something like that, picking up, you know, having a pickup basketball game with people around your neighborhood, something like that, you know? Now, how are you viewing your potential partner? Or how are you viewing your relationship with them right now? You have the Five of Wands and the Page of Cups. It's okay, so the Five of Wands is not a card that depicts motherhood or anything like that, but because of the depiction of the female on that card and the depiction of the little boy on the Page of Cups card, one of the first things I got was mother-son, aka parent-child. So for some of you out there, the relationship that you're in, or the person that you're dating, the person you're married to, however it applies, you might be viewing your relationship more like a parent-child relationship, where one of you is in care of the other. And that might literally be like the case where, you know, one of the partners is not able to fend for themselves for whatever reasons, due to whatever circumstances. So the other partner is the actual caretaker, even though you're both adults, even though, you know, so that might be a literal case for some of you out there. So more power to you, you know. I wish you strength and resolve in a situation like that, because that I cannot assume that would be easy at all. But for others of you, you might be viewing your partner as if they're immature, as if they're not on your level, so to speak. Or maybe you view yourself not to be on their level. It could go either way. But there seems to be a slight discrepancy. I'm not feeling it strongly because that was the first thing that I saw when I picked these cards up. I'll get into the other thing that I was feeling when I put these cards in my hand. So I think there might just be some tension involved there if one of you compared to the other is just less mature, less able to handle yourselves in an adult manner, okay? And just to see it, the Page of Cups, you know, he's smiling really. He's got a very cute smile, right? He looks like he's cute and innocent, but I mean, and he's taking care of those flowers by pouring water on them, which is interesting. It looks like one of them could be like a grandparent, one might be a father figure. The faces on the flowers there. So there might be good intentions, and I don't have kids, but I've been around them, so I know how good intentions of children they're not always executed well. So this kid who's watering the plants, he means well, but he might be watering them too much. He might be sort of saturating the flowers with water. He may be watering them too late, like maybe for some reason he was supposed to do it on Tuesday and it's Sunday night now, and now he's going to water the plants. So I think that might be something, if one of you is the immature energy in your relationship, you mean well, but you might not execute it well. Okay? And for the person who would be the adult or the parent in the relationship, I think that, because look what she's doing. She's like tussling with appliances. She's having a fight with appliances, but she's doing it with feather dusters. So she's cleaning up messes, you know, and she's trying to make sure she gets the ironing done, that she makes the breakfast, that she serves up cocktails when it's cocktail hour at the Saturday barbecue, whatever it is. So there's a lot of responsibility on this person's shoulders, and this person is watering the plants, which they, in their mind, is like, oh, I'm going to help my partner by taking care of the gardening so that they don't have to do it, or, you know, I'm going to try and pull my weight. But this person is like, I really would prefer it if you would go and get the hot dogs and the buns and the hamburger and the buns and the potato salad and everything. I need you to set that up because the guests will be here in like an hour. I don't want you to tend to the garden right now. I need you to do the barbecuing aspect. So there's like a mismatch of prioritizing here. Again, that's only if this dynamic of one person is immature, the other person is like the adult or the parent in the relationship. The other thing that this could be, like Gemini, you might be looking at your relationship with your partner as needing to be defended, needing time to grow. This might be a new connection to you. Because maybe whoever you're dating, whoever you're connecting with, maybe they're not liked by your family, by your friends, by people that you know mutually. Maybe you guys kind of have to, maybe there's some, not taboo, but maybe there's certainly some contention over your relationship. Because the Five of Wands, again, is sort of a defensive energy. And a page, again, well-intentions, and it involves cups. So that's emotional attachments. That's emotional entanglements, right? So you might be defending this new relationship, or you might be defending some behavior that you and your partner have started, or that you're interested in starting. Like maybe you guys want to take up, you want to start hiking all the trails in your locality, but you're like 60 years old. And people are like, what are you doing? You guys are 60 some years old. You barely walk around the block, but now you both want to take up hiking? Like, people might be giving you flack because of some new endeavor that you and your partner are trying to start. Or if your partner is trying to start some new endeavor with you, and maybe friends of yours are like, in your ear, like, oh, don't do that. Just because Bob wants to do that, you don't have to do that. And you're like, look, I love Bob. I'm going to try to hike, even though I haven't put on hiking boots a day in my life. I'm going to do this because I care about Bob and I want to be with Bob. So there's that element as well. Now, what you're hoping for as a potential outcome for your relationship with this person or potential partner, if there's actually nobody on your dance card, is the Knight of Wands. I think you want to travel. You want to go somewhere. And you want it to be exciting. You want it to be an adventure. I mean, that kid, what is he, like Johnny Appleseed or something? He's like jousting with a plunger. It's great. And look at, he's got a fixed look in his eye, He's out to conquer something. He's out to have a good time. He's out to have some fun. So I think you want to travel with this person. I think you want to have fun. I think you want to explore new horizons, new territories. You might also, for some of you, going back to the scenario where you might be the parent, quote unquote, and they're the child, and you need balance in your life, but all you can do is take a day at the spa. Some of you, Knight of Wands, similar to the Knight of Swords, but in a different way. Some of you might want to run away from your partner, because again, look at, he's oriented away from this side of the board, right? Which is where your partner's energy comes from. So if you are having a hard time finding that balance and getting your rest, getting back to your regular, or not regular, but your optimal level of energy and vitality, and you're looking at your partner and they're just watering the plants and you need them to do so much more, you need them to pick up so much more of the slack in your relationship, in your home life, whatever it is, and you feel like you're over here fighting off possessed appliances by yourself, you just may want to get up and get the hell out of Dodge. Just mount up on your bike, take the plunger, and joust your way down the road. So some of you, not saying that that's a breakup, not saying that it will lead to anything so dramatic or so life-altering or path-altering, but the idea of a new path in general applies with the Knight of Wands, whether it's actually you want to travel with your partner, you want to go on new adventures with them, or you just want to get the hell out of Dodge, go and ride your bike by yourself for like days on end. Like you might want to pull like a Forrest Gump where he just, I was running, and that was it. You know, like he ran for what, like a year or something like that, or a couple of years. That might be you. You might want to grow your beard out while you run across America like 50,000 times, okay? Who is your partner right now? How are they coming into this relationship, into this connection with you? How do they see themselves? They see themselves as the Two of Pentacles. I love this deck. Pentacles in this deck are represented by plates, and I just think it's hilarious. Oftentimes, the twos in tarot are talking about choice. I'm not necessarily seeing that here. The other thing that twos are sometimes known as, especially the Two of Pentacles, is juggling. So I see that here. But what are they juggling? Okay. Like, the woman there. Although she has an apron on and we assume she's like a domestic wife, or just a woman who's in charge of domestic duties, I think that's what it is. I think it's a juggle between the domestic life and a life that's outside, a life that one lives at large. Because I mean, look at the apron; it's got an anchor on it, right? So, for some of you, that could mean someone that you're with loves to be on water, loves to go out to the ocean, to the sea, out on boats, fishing, stuff like that. But one of the things that they're obligated to take care of is some kind of home life, some kind of domestic situation. And I think your partner is trying to find a balance between their independence and their interdependence, or however you want to phrase it, with you. Or if it's just dating, it could be other things. If you just met this person, it could be they want to go out on dates with you, but they have a domestic situation at home. Maybe they have children with someone else, so they have to tend to that life. Maybe, like is the reality for many of us, not me though, thank God, living with parents, even though you're a full-fledged adult on your own. So maybe they have to navigate that kind of space of, oh, I want to see you, but I have to go home and clean my room in the basement because my mom's been on me even though I'm 38 years old. You know, maybe that's their reality. Maybe that's the person that you're dealing with. And the interesting part about it is, with the domestic thing, which is where I would caution you, Gemini, or I would begin to wonder how well you're suited with this person, is the domestic scene here is a little chaotic. And like I said, that apron with the anchor on it, and even the stripes in her shirt, like, give me like that naval crossing the ocean, getting out and adventuring around. That gives me that feel. But the scene at home is a little chaotic with that little boy, and I think he's got something in his hand, either like a marker or some glue, and the dog is biting the woman's dress. This home life is not easy peasy. It's demanding. And when someone is dressed like this woman is dressed, as like, AKA like how they are, sort of free-spirited, sort of like someone who likes to travel, somebody who likes to be outdoors potentially, and then their home life is demanding, that's a hell of a thing to juggle. It's not comfortable for them, most likely. So I think your partner is navigating those two worlds, or several several aspects of their life, and they're doing it. They can do it, and they will continue to do it. I do feel for many this is going to be a consistent energy. They're just going to continually keep trying to find that balance because they know that's what they have to do. Like, that's the reality of the situation. For others, I feel that they're going to do that, but at some point they're going to drop one of those pentacles. I think for some of your partners, because the expression on the woman's face in the card is like not contented. Like I would believe she's daydreaming a little bit. So she's over here doing this balancing act. She's navigating her personal life or her domestic life with her work life, and with her hobbies, with her friendships, with her relationship with you, Gemini, whatever. And I think it's eventually going to tire her out, and she's not going to want to do it anymore. So some of your partners are not very contented, but they're able to do that balancing act, and they're able to keep it up for a long time. Others of you have partners who are doing that, and it's going to wear them out, and they're not going to be happy. Not going to be happy, but they might let one or two of their obligations and their responsibilities kind of fall to the wayside because they're just tired of having to keep balance with so many different aspects of their lives. Okay? How are they viewing you in this relationship? How are they viewing your connection as a unit? 4 of Wands. So this is very good. Very, very, very good in terms of how they're looking at you and how they're how they're viewing your relationship. 4 of Wands is all about stability. I mean, look at Barbara there. She's relaxing on 4 mops, which are acting as the wands. And then I believe that would be a house being constructed there in the background underneath her. So there's all this feeling of a home life that's stable, a home life that's secure, a home life that is just beginning since the house is being constructed. And I don't know what the hell Barbara's doing up there on those mops, but you can't stay like that forever in a relationship, Barbara. Eventually you're going to have to get up and, put some work in and, knock that martini back and come inside for once, So I think that they see there's such a potential, or there is a potential for such a thing with you. Either you guys have had this for a while and now maybe you're able to kick back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Maybe you've been married or together for such a long time. You finally are able to buy a house instead of living in an apartment. And now you're starting to enjoy that next phase of your lives together as a unit. Or if you're not living together, maybe you're the person who has a home and you're the one who's kicking back and they're the ones living in the basement with their parents at 38 years old. No matter the scenario, I think that they view you as someone who is successful, or that you can create success, or that you will have access to success. This is not like the success card, like a 6 of Wands is sometimes thought of as a success or victory card. I think this is a success card in the sense of you mind your, not your P's and Q's. That's not what I, no. You have a certain ability to set goals and accomplish them, or have clear goals. You know, because the 4 is about stability. 4s are about stability, right? And being kind of lasered in on what stability means to you and how you're going to obtain it. And wands are action cards, right? They involve, you can want it all you want, Barbara, but eventually you're going to have to get down from there and come inside and help me move the couch into the living room. So wands require action towards stability. And if they're viewing you that way, or you as a couple that way, that's good. That's very good. And then what are they hoping for in the outcome in the relationship with you? What are the next best steps in their eyes? Is the Sun, which is hilarious in this deck. And, I apologize to anybody who might be slightly offended by this deck. It's a little archaic to some of our sensibilities about how men and women relate, but I just think it's hilarious. So I use it. But I think that with this, they are seeing, or at least what they're hoping for, is sort of their wishes on a platter. Because in that card, the man is being served whatever he wants. He's very ecstatic about it. Oh my God, I love this. He can't wait to have whatever the hell's on that plate. What's on the plate? It looks like pasta or maybe a salad. So he's a fan of those types of cuisine, okay? And I think that would be your partner in that card. Oh, it could be, they could be the person serving. Either way, they want to be fulfilled. They want, like I said, their wishes on a platter. Which sounds maybe a little, not cheap, but easy. Like they just want it easy, which maybe they do if they really are an immature person. Maybe they do if they really are not happy with having to balance all of these different things in their life. And so not only their wishes on a platter, they want to be happy. Because the Sun card is about happiness, right? The Sun's got 2 over easy eggs on its face, but it's got a huge smile on its face as well. So I think with you and them together, they view your future or the potential future you might have as being one of fulfillment, as being one of joy and happiness, of great pasta / salad dinners served up every night. Maybe you guys are fans of the Olive Garden. I don't know. And maybe you both love going to the Olive Garden every Saturday night or something after your hike. Because you're 60-something, and when you're in your 60s, you love the Olive Garden. No offense to anybody. If you like the Olive Garden, more power to you. Anyway, so I think that in some ways, overall, considering what I said about you here and what I've seen with your partner, in some ways there is a discrepancy between you. Because your energy is a little bit more reserved, right? Your energy, especially how you're coming into this, especially how you're feeling and how you're viewing yourself, you're not as... Well, you both aren't, which is interesting. So okay. If this is how you both feel, you're resting, you can't find the right balance, you're under pressure. They're over here doing this balancing act, trying to juggle the different pieces of their life, pentacles, up in the air. But you both kind of have potentially more positive outlooks on the other person or how you are as a unit. That applies to the people who are not with the immature person, but you're with the person that you want to take care of or that you're defending because people think that they're immature and they're looking at you as if you have stability. So both of you might have a little bit of an issue with self identity right now. Not like in a I don't know who I am, or, you know, I'm changing my political affiliation, now I don't know which way is up. It's not like that. But I think maybe there might be some truths about yourselves independently that you recognize. You know truths about yourself, your partner knows truths about themselves that you're not sharing with the other person, that you're keeping hidden from them. You might not know that they're juggling so many different aspects of their life, so many different things that they're obligated to do or that they're trying to get off the ground maybe, and they don't know that you're just trying to keep it all together, and like deep inside you're lacking a balance, you're lacking some aspect of yourself that isn't fully healed, and you don't have all the energy and the chutzpah that you need to get through your daily life or to get through certain parts of your life. Like maybe you're having a lot of stress at work. You know, maybe you're having a lot of stress with family members, and that might be the specific area where you need these two cards to be at their optimal. But you might not be telling your partner that. Your partner might not be aware of that. So that would be my warning, or the caveat that I would put on this is like, I think you guys have a potentially good match or a good connection, even though you might want to run away. I don't think you're literally going to run away. That just might be like a daydream some of you have. Like, oh man, if I could just get up on my bike or pack up my Honda Civic and just get out of town. Some of you might be daydreaming about that. But what I felt more with the Knight of Wands for you was like, no, I want to have new adventures with my partner. So I think you guys are definitely connecting. I just think some of the pieces, like if this was a jigsaw puzzle, like you've got most of the pieces in, and one or both of you are like trying to jam one or two pieces into a space, into a space that isn't the right size. You're like, I'm gonna make it fit, and it's just like, no, that's not how the puzzle goes. You're not gonna solve the puzzle by trying to jam that incorrect piece into the hole. You have to find the correct piece and put it there. So there's like a few discrepancies, but overall I think what you've got is strong. Okay? All right, Gemini, I thank you for spending time with me here. I'm going to clear the board, and then I'm going to talk to Libra. Sorry about that, Gemini/Libra. As soon as I was about to move these cards and clear the board, the doorbell rang, and I had to accept a package. So that was fun. Alright, so bye-bye, Gemini. Glad you stopped by. And we will get to talking to Libra. Libra, welcome to your April 2018 love reading. You, in my meditation, you got the happy deck, so I'm going to go ahead. I've already meditated off screen with the deck previously, with your energy and asking for your intended messages. What I'll do now is just reconnect with the deck. I'll lay your spread 6 cards, and then I will get into your reading. Hope you're doing well, Libra, in case I didn't say so. All right, Libra. The first card that you see in your spread is going to be who you are now, what stage in your life you're at right now, your current status and mindset and identity, basically how you view yourself in terms of romance and love and dating and all that good stuff. Second card is going to be how you're viewing your partner or potential partner, how you see them, how you see yourselves as a unit. Okay. And the third card is going to be what your desired outcome might be. What are some of your hopes or wishes for this relationship or this connection? Or it might come out as what is the best advice for you, Libra, from your point of view. What might be the next best step in your relationship with this person? There we go. All right, and Libra, the cards on your partner side are going to mirror your own. So their first card is going to be how they view themselves as they come into this connection with you. Yeah? Yeah. Second card is going to be how they're viewing themselves in this connection, or how they're viewing you as a unit, how they're viewing how you both connect with one another. And the third card is going to be their desired outcomes, what might be some of their hopes or wishes for you both as a couple, as a unit, what might they wish to see happen next in your connection, or just might be best advice, best next steps from their point of view. There's no bottom of the deck in the love readings because your energy, which is slightly obscured, there you can see it a little bit better, your energy, Libra, is the central overall theme or anchor here. Flip your cards over. See what the business is for you and your partner, Libra, in the first half of April. Very good. I can speak. This is so cute. All right, Libra. How you're coming into April is pretty clear from this deck. You're coming in as the Three of Cups. Oh, my finger is blocking that number there. Three of Cups. And they're so cute. Look at them. So, I think you're coming in, Libra, carrying a glass of wine and a big smile on your face. I think you're having a good time. I think that or at least you're wanting to have a good time. At least that's one of your priorities or goals. I think you're interested in building relationships, not necessarily just with this potential partner, but just with your friends, your family, people who you haven't seen in a long time. You really want to enjoy yourself. I get the sense that you might be a little too happy, or this might be too much of a priority, or too much of something that you're wanting to incorporate into your life. I think for some of you, like, this might be a little bit of a pipe dream, like, oh man, my life is so stressful, I wish I could go partying like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday with my friends, but I can't. So either this is how you are, or this is how you want to be. And you're also bringing in the energy of dare I say it, like, debauchery. Like, I think you not only want to have a good time and be happy, like, I think, like I was saying, prioritize, or it's a priority or goal for you. I think for some of you, it is like, it's the priority that you snub your other obligations or responsibilities for. Like, some of you are not being responsible with this energy. Some of you are being really indulgent. drinking too much, partying too much, gossiping too much, as that's like a trio of little people with big mouths. Like, look at, even though they're happy, like the how wide their mouths are is not lost on me. So some of you are like, you know, you're hitting the bottle really hard, you're hitting the dance floor really hard, you know, you're going out to clubs, you're going out to bars, and that's fine, but you might be overdoing it. Even the bunnies have big mouths at the bottom there. So some of you are like gossiping too much. Some of you might be, even if you're not gossiping, even if you're not participating, you might be around people who are gossiping too much. But for, I think, more of you, or the majority of you, I would say you're just trying to have a good time, and you're trying to factor in fun into your life. And you feel fun. You feel fun, which might be new to some of you. Some of you might be coming out of a period where life wasn't so fun, and now that you have the opportunity to enjoy yourself, oh, you best believe Libra is going to enjoy themselves after a long time of being down in the dumps, right? How are you viewing your partner or your potential partner, or the relationship that you're starting with them or that you have established with them? How you view yourselves as a unit? You have the Chariot, Major Arcana. Lovely. Lovely. You see yourself and this person? No, I'm getting it more specifically as the person. You see this person as like... determined, not structured, oh God, focused, determined, man or woman with a plan, right? They got their head on straight. And the thing with the Chariot card is the story is the rider or the driver of the chariot, the driver of the chariot has to get two sides of themselves, or as represented by the two different colored sphinxes. They have to negotiate two sides of themselves, these two sphinxes, and get them to behave or navigate the road as one. That might be something that you are seeing in your partner, that they're trying to marry two sides of themselves, balance themselves out, you know, make sure that they have all their responsibilities taken care of before they come out and party with you. That might be a little bit of the whole navigating two parts of yourselves part or consideration. But I more see this as you view them as ready to go, ready to get the hell out of Dodge, ready to go on a new journey, ready to start a new life, ready to travel, because Chariot would be a card of travel. So maybe some of you have, like, you're booking flights, you're booking hotel rooms, you're picking the perfect cruise, whatever it is. I think some of you view this person as being really like lasered in on not measured fun, but like I think you're like fun at all costs. Like, drop of a hat, I'm going to be at the bar. Just call me. Or you want to go see, you know, that new big blockbuster movie that's premiering tonight. Even though I have work at 5 a.m., I'm going with you to the midnight premiere. I'm going. You're a little bit more fly by the seat of your pants. The person that you're connecting with, they might be a little bit more measured out. They're still fun. They're still able to capture your attention, because I think the Chariot is a very commanding energy in a lot of ways. So they still get you fired up. But I think that they go about their way of having fun and partying and being social. I think they do it with a little bit more planning, or a little bit more having to make sure everything is in its place, you know? If I'm going to go out with you tonight, I got to make sure that I've done all my laundry, because I don't want to be stuck doing laundry on Sunday. I always do my laundry on Saturday. You know, just that. But I do heavily get a lot of travel on that card, So I think you see them as somebody that you can travel with, or that you will be traveling with, that you love traveling with, like you've experienced it before, and like they're like the perfect road trip partner, or you're excited to have that aspect introduced into your relationship if this is a new connection, or you guys have just never gone on a huge trip before, or a road trip or anything. So that's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Now, what do you hope for as the next step? Excuse me, not the next step, but what are you desiring as an outcome? What are you hoping or wishing for as an outcome? Or what is suggested to you as the next best step is the Magician. He's so innocent. I think a lot of people who read tarot, and you can still interpret this card this way, as the Magician can be a manipulator. Maybe here that is true. Like, I think you're wishing for something big. You are wanting something big to happen between you and this person, or you want something to come true, something to come into fruition. Maybe some of you are practicing mindful meditations, and you've been wishing for something, working towards something in practical means, or actually putting prayers up, meditation practices, whatever. But I think you want something big for yourself or for the partner, or both. Change. Just a change. I think you want a big change, a big shift. And some of you, as I was just mentioning, are doing not only practical things, but you're also doing spiritual things, and you're doing that in tandem. And that's really good. That's a really good method when we're talking about the Magician, because if you do one of those things over the other, and show like strong like preference, or put sort of all your eggs in one basket, the actual practical acts, or the metaphysical spiritual acts, it's going to create an imbalance. Others of you are doing exactly what I just said you probably shouldn't do. You're like only putting in practical steps there, and minimal effort towards the spiritual, more metaphysical aspects. Or you are watching tarot readings online religiously. You're getting up and you're doing a 10-minute meditation every day. You're practicing feng shui, but you're not actually doing much in the physical aspect, in the reality, to change your circumstances or work with the energy of the Magician, which is about using. He's an alchemist, right? He's someone who has to take in proper measures and balances of different elements in order to get what he wants. He's having to essentially follow a recipe, but the recipe's not written down anywhere, so he has to keep trying different portions of. He's trying to add different portions to his recipe in order to make it work. All right, I tried 3 cups last time. Let me try 3.5 cups this time. It's like trial and error, all the time, maintaining his spiritual belief, his metaphysical belief that it's going to work. Some of you are not meshing those two things together, and so you're a little unbalanced. Others of you, you're doing fine, and I would think that the Magician, not that you're going to get exactly what you want within the first half of April, but I think that you're on the right track to getting what you want if you maintain that balance, if you maintain equilibrium and use the Magician's energy with proper balance, proper focus, proper structure. Don't get too cocky and don't get too lazy, right? And the thing that I think that you would be wanting in your relationship with the person you're connecting with is some kind of change. Like, and it's big because the Magician, you know, his hands are oriented. One is towards the sky and one is towards the ground. So like, he's trying to act as the connection between what's above, up in the cosmos, and what's down here on Earth. That's a huge distance to to try to connect, you know what I mean? Light years and all that kind of stuff. You know, if we're talking just in miles, how many miles is it from the Earth into the outer atmospheres? I don't even know, but I know it's not a day trip. Well, at least not in a car or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a distance that a normal, regular, everyday human being can just travel, you know? So, what you want and where you want to go next, it's a big ask, and it's not coming anytime soon, but it could be coming if, again, you work with the positive aspects of the Magician and you keep that energy balanced. You don't go too heavy on one side, you don't go too heavy on the other side. Like a Libra, you want to balance the scales, right? Now, the person you're connecting with, who are they? How are they coming into this connection with you? They're the 10 of Cups. Woohoo! So, they've got big plans too, or they've got big dreams too. Not big plans, but big dreams. I think that they are viewing themselves as not dreamers, but this dream is in the forefront of their mind. If they don't already have it. If this is a marriage and you guys have been together and this reality is their reality, it might also be your reality too, or your perspective. I shouldn't say reality, perspective. If this is how they view themselves, this might also be how you view yourself too. If it's not, then you might have a little bit of a discrepancy. But the 10 of Cups represents that happy family, right? You've got parents, you've got kids, you've got cups and trees. So whatever is emotionally satisfying, whatever is emotionally fulfilling, it's readily available. It grows on trees. Oh, not just trees, it's also in the clouds. So there's like this sort of pastoral, not fantasy, because I think that they believe it's real. It could be a fantasy, but I think that they think it's real. So this might be what they believe they have to offer you in a connection, in a relationship. Oh. Yeah. Or this is just how they feel. They just feel like they have everything they've ever wanted, you know? Or they're about to have it if you guys are like just dating and you haven't really established a relationship just yet. So either they have this vision with you and you're one of the parents here, or one of the adults that they're coming into this scene with, or this is what they want and maybe you're not in that card with them. But whatever it is, this is like in the forefront of their mind. Happy family, emotional contentment, fulfillment, just bountiful, happy, like just buku happiness, you know? How are they viewing you is kind of interesting as the Queen of Swords, which is semi-fitting because you're an air sign and you can be represented in this card, since Swords is the suit of the air element. Now, in other tarot decks, and in a very traditional understanding of the Queen of Swords, she gets labeled as being harsh and cruel. Not cruel, but very, very discerning, like kind of no nonsense, like slit your throat kind of, or take your head. You know, if she were to be like a character that many might be familiar with, she would ironically be the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. But right now, that could apply to some of you. Your partner might be viewing you as if you are being kind of harsh, you are being kind of cold and calculated and distant and aloof, which would play into this being in the forefront of their mind and it being a goal for them, but it not involving you. For some of you, that might apply, that train of thought right now. For others, I get the sense that they just feel there's another side to the Queen of Swords, which is powerful. Like all the court cards, especially the kings and queens, are powerful in some way or another. And with the Queen of Swords, you would be like really decisive. You would know what you want and you would not make any bones about it. Now, you can have that energy and be ruthless, be cutthroat. You can also have that energy and be a little bit more diplomatic. You can be a little bit more not compromising, but certainly there's a way, you can rule with an iron fist or you can rule with a velvet glove, right? And I think you would be the type in your partner's eyes to rule with an iron fist, or excuse me, a velvet glove covering an iron fist, right? I think that they see you as being decided and calculated and very much about your business, knowing what you want out of life, knowing what you want to do next, potentially, or excuse me, specifically in your relationship with them. But for a lot of you, I don't think that they're viewing you as being really cold. Some of you, yes, some of you, for sure. Because that's just, even though she's very cute, she's still a little threatening. Like, her eyes are a little fixed, like a little like that mouth is very smiley, right? It's very like, ha 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 ha, but those eyes are a little like zeroed in, right? She's still a killer. She's still, she's still dangerous. So for some of you, that's true. Not that to say that you're a dangerous person, but to say that when you do want something and you go after it, you can be a little cold and calculated and maybe aloof and detached from your emotional side or your more tender and compassionate side. So I think that they're just viewing you kind of sitting in your power, especially when it comes to decisions, which might play into the magician energy in what you're hoping for, or what you might be striving towards, or what you're being advised to strive towards. And definitely here, because, like I said, for some of you, you are prioritizing having a good time. You've decided, I've been miserable long enough, I'm going to have a good time. I deserve it. That could play in here as the Queen of Swords. What are they wishing for or hoping for as the next best steps or potential outcomes? King of Pentacles. This is nice. This is good. I think they want to see you or them or both of you. Let's determine that. Interestingly, I think it's you. Is it you? Or the both of you or them? Either you together as a couple, as a unit, or you. I don't get a lot of them, whoever they are, in this. I get it's you and then you and them together. So this would be wanting to be established. Ooh, yes. Uh-huh. Okay. Me saying established. Some of them want to be legit. They want to be bona fide, like a couple. Like they want your connection to be solidified, right? They want to be Facebook official. They want to be engaged. Not that this is a card of engagement, but whatever it is, they want seriousness. They want commitment. Stability is in here too, because it is a Pentacles card and it is the King. They want to be the real deal with you, or for you to be the real deal with them, which is interesting because let's go back to who you are coming in as this party girl or boy, party person here coming in. They might see that you've decided with the Queen of Swords energy, to have this as a priority in your life, to have it as a factor in your social life. But what they would want to see is you do it or make that decision in a more practical way. Like, they might want you to enjoy yourself, but be mature about it. Don't be so willy-nilly about it, you know? They want you to be... I think they want you to have a good time, but then they also sort of want the connection with you and them together to be serious. We can have a good time, we can go out and we can party, and we can drink, and we can laugh, and we can have fun with our friends, but at some point during the week, you and I need to be like on a couple's date, just you and me at a nice restaurant. Maybe, you know, we'll walk around the park afterwards. Maybe we'll go see a movie where it's just us. Like, they want us time. They're perfectly fine with you going out and hanging with your friends on occasion. And they might join you. Both scenarios probably are okay with them. But what they really want, what they really might even need, is to make sure that you prioritize them and that you treat them. Because the King of Pentacles, he's going to treat his partner, whoever it is, not treat them just well. They're going to make sure that they're provided for, that they're cared for, that they feel secure. They want you to make them feel secure. They want you to not only be secure in yourself, but they want you to make them feel secure as well. Okay? Yes. All right, Libra, that's going to be your love reading for the first half of April 2018. I neglected to tell Gemini. I always neglect the first sign in these things, so I have to like write myself a note. But if you did like this, please go ahead and like the video. If you feel compelled to leave comments, please do. Also, feel free to share the video. That would be amazing. And I appreciate you so much for sticking with me the entire time. And I will see you in the second half of April. I'm going to clear the board now, and we're going to talk to your sister sign, Aquarius. Bye-bye, Libra. See you later. You're still here. Go away. No. I didn't mean it like that. Where are you, Aquarius? There you are. Hello, Aquarius. There you are. And there you go, into the center of the board. All right, Aquarius. Hi, and welcome to your love reading for the first half of April. As I told you at the top of the video, or in the preview, the intro, I did meditate with each deck, and I assigned them to each sign. You have the Santa Muerte deck, so I'm going to reintroduce myself to your energy through the cards, and then we will get into your reading once I do that. Well, we'll get into the shuffle, and then we'll get into the reading. And Aquarius, I hope you're doing well, if I didn't say so. All right, Aquarius, the first card out is going to be who you are now in this relationship or connection, how you're viewing yourself, what your current status might be, some type of what mindset you might have right now, what's your current vibe. Okay. Okay. Second card, Aquarius, is going to be how you're viewing your partner or potential partner in this relationship right now, or how you're viewing yourselves as a unit together. Yeah. Okay. Which way, though? Which way? Wow. Yes, okay. And the third card, Aquarius, is going to be what's your desired outcome in this relationship or connection, what you might be hoping for, what you might be wishing for, or just might be advice for your next best step from your point of view. Another sideways one. Which way, please? Oh. Okay, yeah. All right, interesting. All right, Aquarius, and your partner's side is going to mirror your side, so their first card is going to be how they're viewing themselves in this connection, what the energy might be that they're bringing in, what's their... Ooh. I'm perplexed. This one. Okay. Not that one. Not that one? Okay. Hang on, Aquarius. This card fell in the most interesting position. Unit right now. Okay. Oh my God! Wow. Okay, so this was the card that fell on the floor. And it fell in that position. It fell upright as well. So that's interesting. Third card, Aquarius, is going to be the desired outcome for your partner, what they might be wishing for, what they might be hoping for, or best advice for next steps from their point of view. It's a love reading. There's no bottom of the deck. The overall energy or anchoring energy is yours, Aquarius, as we're doing your reading, your love reading. Flip these cards over for you. See what we're dealing with. This is hilarious. Oh my God. I only laugh because the air signs are the third set that I'm doing. And so there have been interesting issues with reversed cards and upright cards. And you might be the second or third sign that has one side completely reversed and the other side completely upright. And as you saw with your cards, they all came face down. And I did have to turn two of them because they came in sideways. But through my quick questioning, I turned one this way and the other that way. And they are all reversed. So Mercury retrograde might be at play here in your reading. Let's find out. All right, so Aquarius, how you're coming into your reading, what you're bringing to the table, how you view yourself right now, is the Chariot reversed. Okay? Focus. Focus. Do it right. There we go. A little better. Okay, so and I'll show it to you upright because it's not a deck that I think a lot of people have seen on YouTube readings. So that's what it looks like upright. But for you, it came in the reverse. Oh, boy. So I get that number one, the Chariot is a card of travel. And on this card, I believe this would be sort of like a traveling salesman almost. One of these skeleton figures here. He might be coming to town, like trying to sell his wares. And so there might be some desire to travel, but right now you can't. You're delayed from it or you're blocked from it. But also, I think that there's some bravery? No. Will. Determination. That might involve bravery of having made a decision or being able to make a decision, being clear in your path. I think you're a little muddled right now. So again, you might want to travel, you might be traveling, but you're stuck. So maybe you're trying to come see your partner, return home, or visit them, but there's issues with scheduling. There might be issues with traveling as we've just come out of a period in plenty of cities in the northern hemisphere where weather has been terrible and it's prevented traveling. So that might have affected you. Or you're traveling and you might not be having a good time. But what I think it is mostly is, I think you're at not a crossroads per se, but you're having to decide on some things in your life personally, not necessarily dealing with your partner, dealing with the connection or the relationship you have. But you're having to make decisions, and I don't think that you're confident in your decisions. I don't think that you feel ready to make those decisions. There might be some elements in your mind, there might be some elements missing, like it might be you don't have enough money, you don't have the ability to take time off of work, you don't have the ability to start in on that particular, like maybe you're in college or graduate school and there's a certain extracurricular, like maybe there's like a symposium that you want to go to, but you can't, either because of actual traveling restrictions or cancellations, or you just don't have time to fit it into your schedule, or you don't have the money to pay for the tickets, something like that. It's very personal. I don't feel that this Chariot, how you're coming in, is really affecting or having to do with your partner. Now, if it's not that circumstances are blocking you, it's then also, or it would then be you yourself are not feeling, like I said, ready, able to make the decision. There might be many options for you in your personal life, in your career, in your home life, whatever. You might be thinking of moving to a different state, maybe you're thinking of moving to New York City. And that's a huge city with, 5 boroughs, right? And you've got friends in different parts of New York who you could live with, and you're just deciding, like, where should I live? Should I live in Brooklyn with Billy, or should I live in Queens with Tina? Things like that. You might feel a little overwhelmed as well, out of your depth. Okay? So I think you're having to make choices, but you're just not able to make the choices either as quickly as you want, or as rationally, not rationally, but as easily as you want. Like the actual final decision is like pulling teeth, and you're pulling your own teeth. Like you're agonizing over having to make these decisions or plot your next steps, okay? How are you seeing your partner? How are you viewing them currently? As the Three of Swords reversed. And again, because I don't think a lot of people are familiar with this deck, I'll show it to you upright so you can kind of get a taste for how it looks. But you have it reversed. So, I think, hopefully you saw that. In this deck, which I think is a very interesting depiction of the Three of Swords, because I think most of us know the traditional depiction of this. In this one skeleton, that one skeleton has done the dirt on the other. Has actually stabbed that one skeleton figure on the ground, stabbed him in the back at a high angle. Just murdered that guy. Reverse, though. So your partner might be getting over some type of pain, some type of very difficult period in their life, the end of a certain relationship, not necessarily a romantic one, not necessarily they have been dumped or they've been heartbroken or they've been cheated on or anything like that. It could be the loss of a relative. Could be the loss of a long-term friendship. It could be the loss of a child. And if that's true for you or your partner or someone that you know, I apologize. I'm sorry for that. I don't think that them getting, like when I say they've been through it, I don't think that it's gone. Like, I don't think the pain of it is gone. I think that your partner, or at least how you're viewing them, is that they're still affected by it. Because, I mean, when we look at skeletons, right, you presume that's how the person died. So this is how we can presume, you know what I mean? Like, flashback to when these two figures had flesh on them, and muscle, and blood, and blood in the veins, right? That was the pose that they held for a long time. So long that now they're skeletons. Your partner's not over something. Could be an ex, could be past heartbreak, could be being dumped 5 years ago. And 5 years is a long time in a lot of people's estimation, but maybe to your partner it feels like yesterday still. Okay? If it is the loss of a family member or a child or a friend, either in death, hate to bring it up, but it is possible, whether it be in death or just in connection and being able to speak with the person, see the person, whatever it is, that pain associated with the loss, whatever type it is very prominent in them, even though it's reversed. If it was upright, I would say it would be recent. So I think the reversal here is showing that it's been a while. Maybe in your mind, it's been long enough that they should be over it, or they should be further along in their processing of the grief, of the pain. But to them, it's still fresh. So, that's very tough. Very tough. Now, what do you hope for in your relationship with this partner? What are you wishing for? What are you wanting to see happen? Next for the two of you is the Five of Swords reversed. Again, take a look upright. Whoa, so you can move my thumb out of the way there. So you can kind of get an idea of what it is, but it came reversed for you guys. The first thing I see here is you don't want to be persecuted anymore. You don't want to be attacked anymore. You don't want to have to... And I can't even say defend, because those two characters, those two figures aren't even able to defend themselves. They're being blatantly attacked. So you don't want to be attacked anymore. Who's attacking you? Other people or your partner. So if your partner is attacking you, I think I had to say this to Taurus. So if you're with a Taurus, you guys might be having some tumultuous business going on. But regardless, if you're being attacked, physically, mentally, emotionally, terrorized, threatened, do whatever you can to keep yourself safe and remove yourself from that situation. That is just not what anyone deserves in this life, to be treated in such a way, abusively, so to be abused, to be threatened and made to feel unsafe. If that's your reality, do whatever you can as safely as you can and remove yourself from the situation. Now, if it's not to that extreme with you, and it is you're being attacked by other people, and I think with this card, as there are two figures there, and it looks like they might, in some way, not that they're like married, but maybe they've like eloped, which is being married, but you know, a little bit more abruptly, right? So maybe you are like with someone, and you've taken it to a certain stage in your relationship, a certain level of commitment that like rubs people the wrong way. Like, oh my God, you just like started seeing this person like 3 months ago. What are you talking about? You're engaged. And that would be people attacking you. You're crazy. You're only 22 years old. You can't get married at 22. Attacking you. Like verbally, with their thoughts and their opinions, which are represented by swords. Thoughts, opinions, ways of communicating, things like that. You might also be being attacked because you've gone back to someone. This is reversed, they're upright. Mercury retrograde, this might involve an ex for some of you. And getting involved with your ex is a big mistake, according to your best friend. So you're having to defend yourself in your decision to your best friend. It's a tough situation, no matter which way you cut it. But I do get this idea of defending yourself. But again, how can you defend yourself? They don't have any swords. All the swords are coming at them, right? So I think, in a way, and I don't think that's your desired outcome, by the way. I don't think anybody wants this. So this is like sort of telling you what you might be going through or what you might be able to expect. I think the advice behind it would be to sort of, God, unfortunately, run away. Like if you're in that situation where you're literally being attacked and like your personal safety is being violated, run away might be the answer, or find shelter, find some type of hideout, you know, that might be, or you know, a shelter, or a relative, or even a damn stranger if you have to. Some of you might have to literally run away from the situation, run away from the people that are giving you a hard time, that are making your life miserable, that are threatening your safety. If it's not to that extreme, you might have to run away as in take a break, or as in sort of keep things secret. Because again, I got the feeling of like eloping there. And when you elope, the idea is you're getting married in secret, right? Some of you might be doing that. So if it's involving what's going on with you and your partner, and people disagree with what's going on, you can't get engaged to him or her. You shouldn't marry him or her. You shouldn't even be dating them. Don't text them back. Don't reply to their snaps. You might have to start doing it in secret, is the advice. Because you're not going to stop. That's for sure. Unless you're in that dire situation where you need to be safe. Yes, you should stop and get away from that. If it's a copacetic relationship, despite whatever drama or whatever disapproval you're getting from other people, you're not going to stop it. Aquarius doesn't stop much because someone else told them to do it. Someone else said, you shouldn't do that. Aquarius is like, okay. So you're not going to stop seeing this person. You're not going to stop talking to them. You're not going to stop having feelings for them. So what can you do? Either you ignore the people who are telling you to cut it out, or you continue to do it in secret. So for some of you, this might be a little shady business. You might have for some of you, you might have some forbidden love going on. Or you're dating someone who's going through like a tremendous amount of pain and suffering. They might be super depressed. They might be, you know, just weighed down in the depths of darkness. But you're right by their side, and people are like, get away from that person. They're going to drag you down. They're in a deep, dark hole. Why are you trying to be right by their side? You're going to do it anyway, regardless of what other people are advising you to do. Now, the interesting thing here is how your partner's coming in and how contrast it is to all of that. How they're coming in is a huge contrast. They're coming in as the sun. Now, how is that possible if they have all this pain and you guys are being attacked because you eloped to Vegas and you got married in matching Elvis costumes? How is that possible? For some of your partners, I'm not diagnosing because I am no doctor, but some of your partners might have issues with mania, issues with extremes in their personality, extremes in their emotional behaviors, and just, you know, some of their recreational behaviors. Or some of them might be deluded, might be trying to convince themselves that they're happy, convince themselves that they've got a positive outlook on life, or they find inspiration in trying to focus on this energy. Instead of feeling the pain that they've come through, or realizing that their lives aren't really going anywhere right now, that they're kind of stuck in a rut, that they have a dead-end job. They're trying to be happy, some of them. Now, if it's not the extreme of mania and having potentially having to deal with some type of disorder, and it's not faking it until you're making it, if it's not any of that, then it might just be that they're hopeful. And that maybe they could see themselves as the sun, because they know with you, they're a better person. In your presence, I can be the sun. With your influence, I can have the sun. You know? When I'm with you, I don't remember all the times I've been hurt in the past. When I'm with you, I don't feel that pain of that loss. Because again, it's them coming into the connection, how they view themselves, coming into this relationship with you, sharing the energy with you, right? So that's how the sun could play out in a few ways for them. I'm hoping it's the latter and not the former in what I described to you just now. How are they viewing you? Again, this is the card that fell out along with the sun when I was shuffling. So there's definitely some kind of tandem energy between these two cards. They have the Ace of Wands. Oh, so they definitely see you as like, it's going to be a little, like, not cliche, but it's going to be a little corny. Like, they view you as like the light of a new day. You know, inspirational. Someone who's going to make it possible for them to get their mojo back. And again, you are the Ace of Wands, but that's how they're viewing you. They view you as the Ace of Wands, or your connection as a unit as the Ace of Wands. But I think it also bounces back to them. They view your effect on them being the Ace of Wands. Okay? So you yourself as an Ace of Wands, you would be somebody who is creative, is passionate. You have strong desires. You have clearly defined goals, or at least the potential of having some very stellar and prosperous, not prosperous, but fulfilling goals, okay? And you make them feel that way too. It's like a cyclical thing. It's like a reciprocal thing. And I think you are having a profound effect on your partner, Aquarius. I think that you're really pulling them out of something, or helping them get back on their feet even. You might be having to rescue them from something, assuming they're not the one terrorizing you here, right? Potentially terrorizing you. And the sun being a huge ball of fire, and the wands being representing the fire signs, you might be connecting with a fire sign, or they're embodying this energy, Aquarius. Either they're a fire sign, which is potential, not, but they are like revitalized, re-energized, like a reboot, a restart, a change, a huge like shift, in like a clearing of the deck, and then let's lay down something else. Might also be at play here, because I think wands and fire has that dynamic energy of like swift change, and a change that has purpose, it has passion, it has a huge drive behind it, a huge force behind it. And it's a wand, so it's not like, it's potential of that. You might not have it now in the beginning of April, or even later in April, but there's that seed and that potential for it to happen, okay? Now, what are they hoping for? What are they wishing for as the outcome in this relationship, or what's advised, or for the next best steps? You have the Five of Cups. Now, this Five of Cups is obviously different than traditional Rider-Waite Five of Cups. But I feel that the energy is very similar. I think that they know it's not going to be easy road between you two. It's going to involve some very clever and precise navigation, because what's in the skull? It's a maze, and what are mazes even created for? It's a big mind F, right? You can get lost in mazes for a long time. So there has to be a way in and a way out. And they need to find that with you, alongside you. Your partner's energy is very together. You have a little bit of yourself here in the start, and then you have energy with them, and then you have energy with them. So I think they're kind of definitely, how can I say it? They're a little bit more participant. They are more of a participant than you are in some ways, because you might be defending or taking the brunt, or taking in the harsh words and criticisms of others by yourself. Your partner might not even know you're having to stop your best friend from talking smack about your partner. They might not know that. So you potentially have some energies that are all focused on you or away from the relationship. Theirs is very heavy in the connection, in how you're connecting and relating to each other. This is very deep. It's very strong. And I wish I knew what was going on astrologically other than Mercury retrograde, especially specifically for you, Aquarius, because this feels like, even though you don't, the only major arcana you have is the Chariot, or excuse me, you have two major arcanas, I'm sorry. And those are strong in themselves. I feel that as a whole, this reading is strong. Like, it's being influenced by energies specific to your sign, and yeah, it's just something is pulling very heavily. And it's clear though, which has been interesting. It's been pretty clear as I've picked up these cards and interacted with them. It's been pretty clear. And I think I ran down a few different scenarios for you too. So I wonder if there's more about that Five of Cups. It might be something that they do alone, because the skeleton figure is alone, and that is typical of the Five of Cups in the Rider-Waite deck as well. So this navigation through the maze, and it's a maze of the mind. So remember what I said earlier about the Sun card and how that's kind of very opposite of that Three of Swords reversed, and how it might be an imbalance. It might be something to do with their mental behaviors, or mental behaviors, I'm sorry, any mental disorders, any mania that they might have. The maze is in the mind, and this skeletal figure is alone. So the next best thing for them, by themselves potentially, is to find some type of solution to whatever's going on in their mind, in their head. Which is another thing you might have to defend or take the brunt of. People criticizing. I mean, I'm going to use colorful language. I'm not using it to describe your person like this. But some people might be like, why are you with that person? They're crazy. They are obviously crazy. They have a mental disorder. They have something wrong with them emotionally, physiologically, whatever. Why? They're not on their meds. They can't be cured, whatever it is. And you are having to just sit there and take that. I mean, you don't have to, by the way. You don't have to. Free will. You could engage with those people. You could definitely be defending verbally and getting into arguments or whatever. But I think the reason I say you're going to have to deal with it is because I think that it's just going to continue. It's not going to stop. These people have a strong opinion because perhaps from their opinion, they're trying to protect you, Aquarius. They're trying to see you not get hurt. They want to see you happy. They want to see you safe. This is very tough because it's more than one scenario, right? This person can be very loving and they could be very beautiful and you could have a wonderful relationship with them. But this person, for some of you, could also be the person that you're having to withstand the attacks from. Because they've had a lot of pain. Maybe they do have an imbalance and they take it out on you. And you might feel stuck with the Chariot in reverse with them. You might feel like you can't get out. My God. I don't mean to laugh because that is serious for some of you. It might actually be that way. And if it is, I wish you luck. I wish you all the luck and all of the love and strength it takes to deal with this. I hope this has been clear. I hope it's resonated and not like it's, not that will cure your situations or give you some kind of solution or anything like that. But I do hope this has resonated with you guys, with some of you guys, and it's giving you some kind of clarity because this seems like a heavy, thick, just tense situation. And you need strength and you need love and you need support to get through it. And I hope you get it. Okay? All right, Aquarius, I want to thank you for sticking with me. This is probably the longest reading out of the air signs, I think. And this video is going to be incredibly long. So if you do even watch it, thank you for watching it. I will be back in a few weeks to do the second half of April. In the meantime, if you like the video, please like it. You can comment below. Please share the video if you feel compelled. If you're a cross watcher and you're watching for your friend who's an Aquarius, send them the video. But of course, don't do any of that stuff if you don't feel compelled to do it. And so thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you again in a few weeks when I do the second half of April.